You're listening to The Sizzle on Iron Skillet Radio and Iron Skillet Television.
You know who it is. You know what it is. It's The Sizzle in the building with a reaction. Not a reaction, but maybe a reaction to a reaction. We'll find out in a minute. If you have not liked, subscribed, and shared, make sure that you do so. Make sure you hit the button to subscribe all. Make sure that you're getting all the content. Just hit the button below and make sure that you've gotten every piece of content daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. Make sure you've gotten it. It's The Sizzle here on Iron Skillet Radio and Iron Skillet Television. All right, fellas. All right. So preseason is still upon us. Everything is ready. We've got to get ready.
All right.
Ready for Bills
schooled
and Bears. The matchup of the preseason. This is what everybody's been waiting for. It's game 2. It's a 1-1 team. The Bears are 1-0. The Bills are 1-0. It's going to be epic. There are people putting bets down. You got to spread Bills Bears over under 38 points. It's right.
Nobody cares about the record.
Oh, they don't.
You know what they care about? They care about who's quarterbacking.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
That's what they care about. They don't care about what Bills quarterback's going to start week 1. They care about what Bills quarterback is playing.
Okay. So let's talk about the players then.
That is? Want to guess?
I think I have a good idea. Maybe everybody doesn't know, but maybe it's one great player, probably one of the greatest unsung Bears quarterbacks of all time, Mitchell Trubisky. That's right.
Could be. Not. He's so happy. He said he's so happy that somebody wants him, and now he's sitting on the bench. when he was a starter in Chicago. I'm so happy that you want me, and he sit you outside. The party's inside. You got to sit outside. Here's an old chicken leg.
Want you
known that for a little.
Warm up this pine.
All right,
there you go.
So are we supposed to expect anything, Rich? I'll start with you. Are we supposed to expect anything spectacular out of Mitchell Trubisky versus Justin Fields for preseason game number 2?
Yeah, we do. I mean, there's something that people can actually look forward to. Is like, I guess you could say, hey, is this a statement game for, my man Mitch? Like, maybe you shouldn't have got rid of me. You're looking at your so-called future, and I was always your past, present, and future all bundled up. What can Mitch Trubisky do with a offensive line that's just as good, if not worse, than the Bears' offensive line? I don't know. I just know the irony of it. I want to see if the Bears defense is going to unload on Mitch Trubisky. Like, oops, my bad. I know I wasn't supposed to hit you that hard, but you know what? Forget it for old time's sake. This is when you had that red shirt on and I couldn't go at you hard because you were messing up on our turf. That's what I want to see. I want to see are the Bears defense going to go ham on that dude, or are they going to play him all nice and soft? Are they going to, it's just preseason. We're not going to take this personal. I want to see how they're going to take it personal. I kind of want them
to. All right, Jay, what do you think the Bears defense is going to do facing Mitchell Trubisky?
I think they're going to get lit up. I think they're going to get lit up. He knows this defense. He's run against this defense a number of times. Now, we know there's a number of people have switched in and out, but overall, the scheme is going to be the same. He has seen this scheme for 3 years, even though they have a new DC over there. I believe, though, Mitch is a good athlete, and he can get outside of the Bears' rush. He can put pressure on these cornerbacks. And I think you're going to see Mitch use his legs a lot like Josh Allen is going to use his legs. And the Bears have been susceptible to running quarterbacks. The problem that the Bears are going to have right now are their linebackers going to be able to contain the outside like they need to and get out from sideline to sideline, because we know that is going to be a bit of a problem. They have a couple of linebackers that haven't really been great at doing that. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's not poo-poo on this. And the question to me is that how long of a run is Andy Dalton going to get in this game? Because after this game, we're shooting real marbles at real ducks. I don't know if we shoot real marbles at real ducks, but you know what I'm talking about. And so we got to look and see right now. They got to get a real good look-see at Andy Dalton and see if he's ready to go. I don't know how much run Justin Fields or Mitchell Trubisky is going to get in this ball game.
Let me rephrase my previous statement.
Okay.
And Jay, I think you might have been drinking on something a little tough. I don't understand how you're going to sit here and tell me that Mitch Trubisky was better than the Chicago defense in whole. That's egregious. If I can use a big word in the dictionary,
Wow,
it's
that
not
was a
going to
big
happen.
one.
That doesn't happen. The only way that Trubisky lights up the score is if by some chance after the first snap, the starters, which is feasible, just come off the field and they just bring in the lower 80 to 100 people that they're trying to cut just to see what they can do. That's about the only way
now
that Mitch Trubisky gets out there and lights up the scoreboard on stat other than like forced fumbles and interceptions.
Is this Bears defense the best defense in the North?
Yeah,
second best.
Yeah,
second best. I mean, where do you rank them? Where do you rank them in the NFC?
Yes, second best. If you add Alec Ogletree to it, yes, I think so.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, defensively, this is not the NFC North that we're used to. But that Kyle Fuller not being out there, that we're just going to sweep that under the rug. That's not going to make that much of a difference to this Bears. That was your boy. Listen, when you got an angry Khalil Mack running at you at full speed, you just throw the ball up there.
He's been angry for 2 years. You ain't called his name. He's been angry for 2 years and he ain't called his name.
So what?
Unless you get pressure from the backside, from the other side, unless you get a tremendous amount of pressure, the same thing's going to happen to Khalil Mack that happened the last 2 years. They're going to double him, and you're not going to hear his name.
Fuller was grabbing.
I don't see this great outside pass rusher for the Chicago Bears. Huh?
Fuller was grabbing interceptions that all three of us could go get up and grab. I'm not about to sit there and be all glorified about that. No, those were duck throws that he was pulling down.
Okay. But now your number one quarterback is the young second-year guy over there now who ain't gonna come up and tackle nobody.
That ain't got
so
nothing
that
ain't got nothing.
And you got safeties right now who can't stay on the field. I'm telling you. I mean, I don't know, man. Is Danny Trevathan still there?
Again,
is he still playing big minutes for you?
Is he still playing?
Is he gonna still play big minutes? Is he still gonna play big minutes? He's hard hustle and muscle, but it's hard hustle and muscle.
You're going like week 9 and week 10. I'm talking about week 2 of preseason.
And okay, still even week 10, they're still not going to have their schemes down. They haven't had enough practice time. They still haven't had it. It's funny now. It looks like these offenses are going to be a little bit ahead of these defenses right now. I think Mitchell Trubisky, because he knows these guys. I think he knows weaknesses, and I believe he's going to be able to exploit some things. Mitchell was not that bad of a quarterback. I just think he was in a really bad scheme for him.
Take his mic. Please take his mic.
Hey, I just think he was in a real bad scheme for him. You're asking a guy to make multiple reads, put Lamar Jackson and let him run Matt Nagy's offense. What happens to him?
All right, so let's look at the
put
other
my
side.
son in the offense, and he'll run a better scheme than Mitch Trubisky.
That's probably true.
We're going to wait and see now.
So let's look on the other side of the ball and look and see now from Justin Fields' perspective. And he's going to get some needed help there at the left tackle position. Jason Peters will be inserted in, and we'll be able to see what the old man can do, because right now your line is where the weakness is.
I'm sorry. What? I said, you gonna get what help? Do you know? In the time of the NFL, there has been about 6,500 offensive linemen drafted into the league. Something like some craziness, right? You want to know how many of them played till they were 39 years old? 6.
Is
This
Jason
sounds-
Peters one of those 6?
And we just
I'm
got
a
one.
little jealous over there. Are you mad?
No, I'm just
Are
like,
you
why
mad
do they have a
because
man
you're
out there
not one
playing
of
with
the
a
6?
walker? Why do they have a man out there playing with a walker?
It's not his fault that you are the same. You and him are the same age. That's not their fault.
Well, that's true. But now it tells you how bad. Hey, the young guy, Tevin Jenkins, just went in for back surgery. So this problem is way worse than what we think it's going to be. And now we're going to look at an Andy Dalton or Justin Fields back there behind a crippled offensive line and now aged offensive line. Let's look and see how this is going to work, because this is a huge problem. If Tevin Jenkins cannot make it back and play like he was drafted to play, there is going to be a problem here in Chicago. That GOAT is going to come from Wrigley Field and come into Soldiers Field, and, and the curse is going to follow him over there. I'm telling you, this might be the curse of Mitchell Trubisky.
But we knew this, though. We knew this going in. We laughed. We talked about it, but now it's reality. We always said, remember I says, hey, listen, Andy Dalton plays the Rams in week 1, and I don't know if he's going to make it out of that game. I said that. And now it's coming true.
Yeah, but now you're throwing Justin Fields into the fight. Now, he looked good in the preseason when he was literally throwing against air. You know what I'm saying? He looked good then. I mean, he looks like a quarterback who could play, right?
He can throw against air and run for his life. That's
yeah. He looked, and the guy super Vance was at the game, and he said, "Dad, he has a different gear than everybody else does. That guy hits the edge, and that guy is gone. So he's super fast." Now, what's the one thing that happens to really fast guys in the NFL? Anybody want to take a guess?
They get smacked
faster. Oh,
they get smacked like a fly at some point in time. Okay, there's a certain running back from USC that is now what does he have? Arby's commercials. What's those commercials he's doing now? And he got blasted, and his career was over from that point. You know what I'm saying? So. Look, no, he's doing the Wendy's commercial. The whole issue is right now, he cannot rely on his legs regularly. Is he going to rush for 300 yards? You don't want him out there rushing for 300 yards. Now, we know the top 4 or 5 fantasy quarterbacks did rush for 200 yards, but you talk about these guys were getting out there and getting out of bounds. You don't want this guy out here doing an RG3 and trying to rush for 300 and 400 yards over the course of the year, because he's going to get smacked.
Well, it leaves a big question of what you do with the line and how they're going to pit that line and keep him protected. Even with Larry Borom coming back, you still got that question of how they're going to contain the edge. And now the question becomes, maybe they let go of the wrong lineman in the offseason, and now the Bears have a bigger problem than they had before.
No.
Mr. Average? Mr. Average? Is that what you're talking about?
No, what?
Not at all.
No.
Who you talking about?
Well,
It doesn't matter. They should have let them all go.
I think they have let them all go.
We
That's the
have
problem.
no offensive. We have Mustafa in there. I mean, those guys. I mean, he's hard hustle and muscle in the middle. I think he's going to play pretty well. The problem for the Bears has always been the edge. They have not had good tackles. They haven't had one good tackle in the last decade. That's been a standout for this offensive line, and that's what the biggest problem with their offense is, that they do not give their quarterbacks time to step up and get to deliver the football. All of our quarterbacks get flushed out, and they're being pushed out. They're pushed out to the edge, and now they're throwing against coverage that's rolling toward them. Let's see if Peters comes in here and does yeoman work, and he can keep this young quarterback upright, or this old quarterback from having to run around too much. The Bears are going to be pretty decent. So I think the offense is going to be pretty good. But if these guys get flushed out of there, this is going to get ugly real quick.
True. All right, so gentlemen, let's give our predictions for Bears-Bills preseason game. We know the over-under. We know the predictions on the betting side. But what do you say, Jay Sizzle, about Bears-Bills preseason? Who comes out victorious? Fields or that other dude?
The Bears are 4-point favorites. I say they lose by 6. Hey, the Bills ain't no joke. Josh Allen the Bills ain't no joke. This is a real good football team. They're getting ready to play for real next week. I think they're gonna go out here and have at it.
We're not gonna see Josh Allen.
Okay. Wait, see. You got a lot of guys. You got a lot of guys fighting for spots right now. A lot of guys fighting for spots.
We're not gonna. Let me tell you something. You know who's gonna be starting week 1 for the Bills? Josh Allen.
Absolutely.
No question in my mind. We are not going to see him. We're probably not.
So hold on now. Let me throw this in. Usually in the 4th game, if my history is correct,
we don't have a 4th preseason game.
Hold on, I know. Usually,
that's history.
Usually, over many decades, the 4th preseason game, your starters play 3 quarters. Usually, that's what's happened. This is the last preseason game. You don't think they're going to run their starters out there for half this ball game at least?
No.
So we're just going into the first game of the year and we ain't had no real contact, no real play. We're just going to go out here, run our guys out here. How you doing? Shake each other's hand. And then we're going to come out here week 1 and really ran this offense at full speed. I think you're going to see these guys playing a lot longer than what you think they're going to play.
I think, what game are you on?
Game number, is this the last preseason game?
No.
When's the last preseason game?
Next week?
Next week.
Okay, well, same thing.
All right, that's it.
They got to play him. They got to play him.
He got to take a snap. That's about it.
No, they got to play him. They don't have time. You cannot play out here in the NFL and you have not had practice time. They don't hit each other in practice anymore. Whatever that other Hall of Fame game got me screwed up. They don't hit anybody in practice. Wait a minute. Didn't the Bears just play last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first game.
Are there 2 preseason games or 3? There's 3?
3.
Okay, good. Well, did I rescind everything I just said? Next.
You know who it is. You know what it is. It's the Sizzle here on Iron Skillet Radio, Iron Skillet Television. Make sure that you've liked, subscribed, and shared. Make sure that you've hit the like all button so that you will get the content immediately when it's shared. So you know who's in the building. Jay Sizzle, Rich Sizzle, I'm G Sizzle, and we will see you, my friend, on the other side.
Make sure that you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Iron Skillet Sports. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to Iron Skillet Sports on YouTube at Iron Skillet Sports.